Someone once asked the question, you want to know what's my role model? It's in the brown bottle. Now I'm sure he wasn't talking about hydrogen peroxide, but I think it transitions over nicely. My friends, hydrogen peroxide can be used for way more than cleaning minor cuts and scratches. And in today's video, I'm going to show you 7 clever ways that you can use it and how to make it work for you. And on a side note, stick around to the end of the video and I'm going to share with you why hydrogen peroxide always comes in these little brown bottles. But before we get into the nerdy stuff, let's get into some applications, shall we? Mama always said you should eat your veggies, and now I'm telling you, you should wash your veggies with hydrogen peroxide. Simply fill up a big bowl of water, add 1 cup of hydrogen peroxide, then put in your carrots, your strawberries, or whatever else you need to wash. Mix them all up, get them all good and wet, and let them sit there in the solution for 20 to 30 minutes. The time is on the longer end of the scale for thicker skinned produce. The reason we're doing this is just to help lower any type of germs that might be on the fruits and veggies from people touching them and handling them, as well as to remove any pesticides and just all in all give them a good general cleaning before consumption. Hydrogen peroxide is great at removing blood stains. The key to success though is to hit that stain as quick and as fast as possible while it's still fresh. The longer that stain sits there, the harder it's going to be to remove it, and you run the risk of it being there permanently. To remove the blood stain, spray the hydrogen peroxide on the affected area or just pour some on the affected area. Grab you a small cloth and blot out the stain. Never rub though, and what you're going to do is just repeat this process a few times, and then you're going to wash the garment as you normally would, and the stain should be gone. I should also mention that hydrogen peroxide does have the power to bleach out colors, so if you're going to use it on a colored garment or a darker colored material, maybe test it on an inconspicuous area first, right? Or, here's a greater solution, just use the hydrogen peroxide on white garments. Teeth whitening has become popular in recent years. The only problem is these products can be quite expensive, which leads people to look for cheaper remedies. The most affordable way to whiten your teeth at home is to make your own DIY toothpaste. Hydrogen peroxide is the main ingredient for most of your teeth whitening concoctions that you find on the market. Simply mix 2 teaspoons of baking soda into a small dish, add a small amount of hydrogen peroxide, mix it up and just keep adding the peroxide as you need it until you have that perfect balance. You want a nice paste, like a toothpaste consistency, not gritty and not runny. From that point, you want to use the toothbrush to apply the paste to your teeth and just brush in small circular motions for no longer than 2 minutes. Rinse your mouth out and you're done. You will have to repeat this process once a day for 1 to 2 weeks to get the whitest results. And of course, if you have any questions, consult your dentist. Clean and sanitize children's toys with hydrogen peroxide. Simply fill up a bucket of water, add 1 to 2 cups of hydrogen peroxide, then dump in your toys, mix them all around and let them sit there for 10 minutes. This will clean them up and sanitize them nicely. Now notice I didn't use the word disinfect. Hydrogen peroxide can be used as a disinfectant, but it has to be used undiluted, and because we're mixing the hydrogen peroxide with the water in this case, it will only sanitize and clean. If you want to use hydrogen peroxide as a disinfectant, like I said, it has to be undiluted, which in this case, if you want to disinfect your children's toys, they would basically have to sit in a bucket of pure hydrogen peroxide for 10 minutes. Now, if you're a little confused and you want to understand in a little further detail the difference between sanitizing and disinfecting, I actually made a video about that. I will leave that listed and linked down below for you. As I mentioned, hydrogen peroxide can be used as a disinfectant. This is according to the CDC, but it will only work on hard, non-porous surfaces. Now, how to do it is simple. Clean the countertop first, removing any grease and soil, then spray or wipe down non-diluted peroxide across the surface of your countertops and make sure those countertops stay visibly wet for 10 minutes. This will give it time to get the job done, kill the germs, kill the bacteria, kill the viruses. If it dries before the 10 minutes, you have to redo the job. As I mentioned, hydrogen peroxide does have the power to bleach, so always test it in a small, inconspicuous area to make sure it's not going to damage those countertops before you lather the whole surface. What can't you clean your toilet with nowadays? According to YouTube, you can use everything from mouthwash to shaving cream, as well as hydrogen peroxide. Not only does it clean the toilet bowl, but it also whitens it as well. Simply spray the toilet bowl liberally with your undiluted hydrogen peroxide and let it sit there for 20 minutes. Grab your brush and then scrub it until it's clean. Hydrogen peroxide can be used to clean your grout. Now, I don't recommend it for 600-700 square foot, but it is absolutely fantastic for small little areas, small projects, as a cheap, effective DIY grout cleaner. Simply mix equal parts baking soda with equal parts hydrogen peroxide in a small dish, apply it to the area, let it sit for 5 minutes or so, and then scrub it with a small grout brush. And this will remove any dirt and grime. After you finish scrubbing, grab a small cloth and wipe down those grout lines, leaving them clean. Also, you want to make sure that your mixture has that paste consistency. We're basically making DIY toothpaste and putting it on the grout. Brush your teeth, brush your grout. Okay, so now for the nerdy part of the video. So why does hydrogen peroxide come in a brown bottle? Basically, whenever this is exposed to light, heat, or air, it turns into plain water. It loses its potency and its effectiveness. The way you know this has happened is it will lose its fizziness. It just won't fizz anymore. Now, hydrogen peroxide can sit on a store shelf unopened for up to 3 years and still be good. But once you open that bottle, it's good for about 6 months until it turns into plain water. With that being said, that's all I have for you today. My friends, thanks so much for checking out the video. Give it a big Clean with Confidence thumbs up if you liked it and you found it valuable. And if you've ever wanted to know the top 5 ways to clean your grout, I'll leave that video right here on the screen. Click that, hurry on over, and I'll see you next time.